no Jedi.
Your powers are weak, old man.
Always remember, your focus determines your reality.
Hello there.
General Kenobi! You don't know the power of the dark side.
Okay. And welcome back to Disciples of the Force podcast. I'm your host, Spencer Silva, followed by my beautiful co-host, Austin Hyatt.
Thank you.
Welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Star Wars news. Do we have anything?
No, we got a longer cinematic trailer for Star Wars Outlaws, I think.
Oh,
we already talked about that.
Yeah, I don't know if we talked about it, but it keeps popping up on all of the videos I try to watch. So,
I don't think there's any other news. I should have checked. Oh, speaking of Star Wars Outlaws, one of the main missions is hidden behind a paywall.
Oh, I did see that.
People are really pissed about that. That's the only news I saw this week. But
yeah, I was looking at all of like how you have to pay all this. Yeah, the whole the whole future of gaming is just like,
yeah,
pay $30 to pay $40 to pay another $60 to get the full access.
Well, I thought like EA and Ubisoft, because Ubisoft is making this game, they make the Assassin's Creed games and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they both learned about the danger of microtransactions because they were both received like really poorly. Especially EA made the Battlefront games, Star Wars Battlefront 2 specifically. They hid a bunch of stuff behind paywalls. You had to pay pretty much to be good at the game. And then they rolled all that back because of all the backlash. So it's just kind of interesting that
they
Star
went
Wars
back
is still
for
in that in their gaming. But.
Yeah, I guess it makes you think that it's cheap and then they'll just keep getting you.
Mm-hmm.
They should make it free.
Yeah, because I was trying to do the math on how much money I've spent on Warzone.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Yeah. It's probably $500.
No way.
Maybe.
You spent on Warzone? What have you bought?
Well, I buy the games when they came out. So I bought Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3. Okay. That's $70 each. That's $140. I bought, there's balloons.
It's exciting for you.
I buy the Black Cell season pass, which is $30. So I think that's another $60. That's at least $200. And then I've purchased, so probably closer to only like $300. But still, for a free game.
That's insane. Well, they could make, that's exactly, because if I'm paying for a game, then I'm not going to spend any of that money. But
that's $1 more.
That's how it gets you, because you're like, oh, well, it's free, so I'll pay $20. I'm still winning. Yeah. That's what they know.
Nope.
That's crazy. I did see a thing that Jaron sent me today that they're aiming, the Acolyte is aiming to not outperform, but outdo the lightsaber duel in Phantom Menace.
Yeah, I did see that.
I think, I was thinking about this today. I was like, well, I think choreographically, maybe it'll look better. Yeah. Maybe the special effects, because we're just so, we're in the future.
Yeah.
But I was like, I just don't like the nostalgia with the Phantom Menace.
Yeah, I'm sorry. And if we're wrong, we can clip this back after it happens. But like a Disney produced Star Wars, and I'm really hopeful for the Acolyte. Mm-hmm. A Disney produced Star Wars TV show is not going to outmatch the stakes, the music, the choreography of Duel of the Fates. It's just not going to happen.
No way. Yeah, good point. The music, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no way. And you make a good point too, that was for a film. I mean, the first Star Wars film in what was it,
25 years maybe.
So it's like that they knew they had to go hard with it.
Not 25 years, closer to 20. Sorry.
No, you're good. And actually, as I've been clipping things, I've gone back and watched like duels. In my mind, all I remember is the Duel of the Fates. But the lightsaber battle they have with when Qui-Gon and Darth Maul first face off.
Yeah, on Tatooine.
Yeah, super sick.
Yeah, it's nuts.
When they're going against all the droids, it's just like, I'm like, this is crazy, because like if you think of what you had with Return of the Jedi, to that, I'm like, oh, that's amazing. Mm-hmm. So I don't know, it's really cool.
Yeah, it was a totally different world.
Which actually, speaking of which, I'm listening to the audiobooks of the novelization of the prequels.
Good.
I knew the first one was going to be a hard listen, because I was like, you have to go through all of the bureaucracy. No,
yeah.
Yeah.
politics of it.
Politics, and we like politics in Star Wars, but listening to it does drone out for sure. I was like, this is rough. But one thing I was thinking about, and this isn't even new to the novelizations in the movie, but how do you think it's questionable what Qui-Gon did when he does the little whoop to turn the cube over to the, was it blue side for Anakin?
Yeah, to win his freedom. I think that's totally okay because he freed him from slavery. I think what's wrong about it is leaving his mother in slavery and kidnapping the kid from the mother. Yeah. Like, that's an issue. But would I cheat in the game to get a kid freed from slavery? No. But it's good that Qui-Gon did it.
Right.
Just kidding.
I do find it interesting that, the Jedi love just stealing kids anyway, so I mean, it doesn't really matter.
It's a good pastime.
Qui-Gon's going to take that kid regardless.
It keeps you young. It keeps you young. What can you say?
When I just wondered, I wonder what the code is for the Jedi code for cheating. But you're right, it is the greater good. He got a kid out of slavery.
Do they like the Jedi mind trick?
Oh, that's a good point.
Like, I don't think they have any ethics surrounding controlling other people with
That's
force.
A really good point. Yeah. No, you got a good point. Yeah. I guess their ethics doesn't really exist if you're just mind controlling someone.
I mean, but there is. I mean, they talk about control being like a path to the dark side, but then you have the stuff like that. I don't know. Yeah,
it's interesting. Well, another thing that I think about, so the novelization does highlight how big of a risk taker Qui-Gon is.
Yeah.
Like, they're just showing all the things he's like, oh yeah, I'll bet this, and then I'll bet this. And he just keeps betting. I'm like, maybe this guy had a gambling addiction.
Like our buddy.
Yeah,
we know a guy like that.
Maybe it's forced.
Yeah. What's the number to call if you have a gambling addiction? There's the Kurt Warner commercials. But anyway.
We know Jaron knows
it. Yeah. Look out for that if you have an issue.
For no seriousness. Don't let it control you, okay?
Yeah, we're going to start a new segment where we give some real life advice. We're 25 years old now. Born on the same day, if you didn't know.
Gang.
We're 25 years old now, so we kind of have a lot of life behind us, so we can give some good advice. So I think we're going to do a little segment there.
A lot of life behind, not a lot of life ahead.
I'm hoping 2 or 3 years. Hoping to die in a motorcycle crash or something. When I die in a motorcycle crash, play that back at my funeral.
I get up there and it's just really somber, and I go, I know this isn't the right time, but this is what he wanted.
That's what I wanted, and you've got it on tape.
Jeez,
you need to leave. What are you doing?
Anyway, that was just really my question. I was thinking about that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay. I think that's good.
Yeah.
I'm going to get back into Star Wars books. I just started a book the other day, though. Mm-hmm. It's derailed me. At your golf tournament.
Okay.
So I walked to get some service, downloaded a book on my phone. It's called Nuclear War Scenario.
Okay.
They're adapting it into a movie in a couple of years with one of my favorite directors, Denis.
Okay.
Anyway, book is scary, bro.
Really?
Like, it just talks about what would happen in a real life scenario if the U.S. was bombed, and they go into like a lot of detail of like all the government agencies that track nuclear weapons and like our actual response. It's scary. It makes you think a bomb is going to drop today. Like, I'm freaking out. Anyway.
Well, it's funny you bring that up because I had a professor in college who would always be like, because he worked in the military, and he's like, you don't know all the things that happen on a daily.
Yeah.
Just like how crazy it is. And it's like, people are like, oh, I don't want the government to shield things. He's like, I do. He's like, I was there. He's like, I don't want to ever know how close we are for something to go bad. I just want to live my life like nothing was going to happen. I'm like, that's good. When you put it that way, I'm like, oh, yeah, maybe I don't want to know what's going down.
Keep it a secret from me, dude.
I don't want to know how close we are to going to a war every day. Yeah. Like, I see what's going on now, and I'm like, dude.
Well, that was one of the scary things. One of the guys who was the head over one of the facilities, like the early detection facilities in the 80s, he was quoted as saying, we're closer now to a nuclear war than we ever were during the Cold War.
That's terrifying.
It's like freaky.
And anyway. If you look at what happened during the Cold War, like you remember in English class in high school when they would show you the ads they'd have? I don't know if did you ever have Wykstra?
No, I didn't.
He would like show us that.
I love that guy though.
He's super sick. Shouts out.
Yeah.
If you listen to this, Mr. Wykstra. But he would show us like their ads they'd have, like it would be like a turtle of what to do if a nuclear bomb happened. It was like just an everyday thing for them to learn about because of how big the threat was.
Yeah.
And to think that that's what they did on the daily. And if in the 80s it was closer than that and they weren't doing none of that,
yeah,
that's crazy.
It's nuts. Anyway, Okay, sorry. Read that book though; it's good if you ever get a chance.
Well, now that you bring that up, do you think there's nuclear weapons in Star Wars? Well, I guess there are. There are. The Death Stars blows up planets, but
yes, but there's also they call them atomics. They used atomics on Mandalore. The Empire bombed Mandalore.
Oh yeah.
So can't get away from nukes.
I guess they exist even in a galaxy far, far away.
Yes, sir.
Damn.
They had an Oppenheimer.
Shoot.
Star Wars Oppenheimer. That'd be a good idea for What If. Hey, you know another good idea for What If? I was just watching The Force Awakens the other day.
Sure.
What if Captain Phasma had boob armor? I was thinking that. I was like, man, this would be a way better movie.
Do you think it would distract a lot more for the Jedi? Who is she going against? Finn and Rey?
Yeah, Finn mostly. I don't think Finn would have such choice words for her if he could see a little bit more of her figure.
That's a good point, honestly.
Is she hot? She's in Game of Thrones. Phasma girl.
Who's she in Game of Thrones?
Tall. I don't know.
Girl. Respectfully, no.
No? Okay, never mind
that.
that.
I do love her character. She's really nice. She's like a cool character arc anyway.
Okay, sick.
It's funny you say that because now you say that I can hear the voice.
Yeah.
It is funny though how like scary she was, and then in the sequels, they just don't really do much with her.
I remember first seeing her in the trailer. Maybe it was the trailer. Had to have been.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, whoa.
Yeah, it's cool. Super sick armor.
Yeah.
That I think is the biggest downfall of the sequels is the potential they had that they just.
I know, but
the elements were there.
Yeah, the moments were there. Because her armor, you know where it comes from?
Is it Beskar?
It's not Beskar. It's actually from a Nubian yacht, which is one of the. I don't know if it's actually Padme's ship, but it's a ship from Naboo.
They say that in the movies, or is that just?
They don't say that in the movies. It's in comics or something.
But that's cool. That's actually super sick.
Where did Phasma? Okay, we can go on.
All right. Well, let's talk about the Bad Batch, shall we? Betcha. Well, where's Betcha?
Whoa. Wait, what?
I said, where's Betcha?
Where's Betcha? Dang, that was good. The Force Awakens Visual Dictionary establishes that it comes from a Naboo yacht, which was once owned by Palpatine, which is even cooler.
That's way cooler.
And they just, I mean, it's whatever.
Yeah, but it's like, how would you put that into the movie?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
It would be like why would you say that kind of thing?
Finn, where did she get her cool armor?
Yeah, it'd be something like that.
Somehow she got it from Palpatine's ship.
You can't escape it, dude. That'd be funny. Anyway, the Bad Batch. I was gonna say the opening scene with the nanny droid. I had to look that up.
Yes.
I didn't realize how scary those things were because they were in the Clone Wars. That thing looked a little freaked me out a little bit. The little face on it.
Yep.
Shoot, sorry, listeners. I just probably broke your ears. That was my first thing. I said it's low key scary.
Okay, low key.
And I changed my low key to high key. I was actually like, that's a freaky ass droid.
Wait, you went back and changed your notes?
No, I'm changing it.
Changing.
Listen, Audible. You play Madden, you know.
Sure. Check Tuesday. Check Tuesday.
Is that a sketch? Oh my goodness.
Sketch. What's? I can't. I'm not gonna do a sketch right now. Okay, the music at the very beginning, the like bell chime stuff.
Yeah.
Very creepy and ominous.
The whole vibe's creepy and ominous.
Yeah.
Dude. What happened to the Bad Batch?
I love a good prison episode of Star Wars. You know, going back also.
Okay.
I sent you that thing where the people who work on this show said that last episode was inspired by Cool Hand Luke.
Yeah, what is that?
It's a great movie featuring Paul Newman, who you might know him as Doc Hudson in Cars.
I know him as the Ranch.
Yes, yeah, Newman's Own, his charitable foundation. He's one of the coolest guys ever.
Really?
I read his book. Read his book. He's great.
Could I listen to it instead of reading?
You could.
I will
do that. You can, and it's actually really cool because they get a guy that kind of sounds like him to narrate it. It's cool.
That's sweet.
Anyway, I don't know how last episode was inspired by Cool Hand Luke at all. They both take place in a prison, they both involve like a prison break, but I don't know. Anyway, I just thought that was kind of dumb. I was like, don't even say that if you're not going to back it up with like a storyline. But that being said, I love this prison episode. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of, in some ways, the converse of Andor.
Yeah.
So in Andor, we get a glimpse of the Empire just using these kind of disposable people to build a mega Death Star, you know? Mm-hmm. And there's a common theme of nobody's listening.
Right. Nobody's
listening, nobody's watching. It's all about control, but all about fear, you know?
Right.
In this, they go out of their way to mention that they're always watching. And they're not quite as disposable. Like they're very valuable assets to the Empire. So just kind of interesting themes there.
That's a really good point, that they treat them like they're nothing, but they are very important.
But they're very valuable, and they're always being watched. So
that's a really cool.
Thank you.
Going with that, I don't remember. One thing I did like is when they have Rampart and they're like trying to get the location of Tantus. And he's like, you can only get it if you go to the space station to be at this bay, and then they will transmit the coordinates to you once they've verified who you are. My little geek brain liked that because that's like in IT, it's like very much like you have to. I'll give you all this information, but I got to verify who you are. It's called trust but verify.
Okay.
Anyway, I was like, it's really cool that that's like the process that the Empire takes to really keep this concealed, because I'm like, that is a really good method of doing it. Like,
okay,
only people who can get this are if we can trust. We know for 100% it's them. They're at this location, so it can't because they're not in some random spot. We know they're right here, and then we'll send it, and we find out later they only send it to you once you start to leave.
Right,
like you can't just get it there. I'm like, that's locked down. That's tight.
That's money,
and it's really cool because it just raises the stakes for them, of course, story wise.
Right.
But I thought I really enjoyed it.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. I love that insight. That's why we have Spenny on, because he brings that IT insight.
Yeah, as my friends like to bully me when I'm playing Warzone, dude. Who am I?
It's pretty cool. It's a pretty good joke.
It's a great joke. I just hate that Jaren came up with it.
I know. I hate when he's funny. I hate it.
You can't be tall, good looking, and funny. You got to have a disability.
F that guy. Anyway.
Cut that. I don't want him to know I said that.
He doesn't listen.
That's a good point.
Are you doing IT for the Empire if they pay you $75 a year?
75,000?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. I'd probably do it for 40.
Really? Okay. Perfect.
Well, that actually brings me up to a point, but you can go to your next part.
No, go ahead.
Well, you talk about how you said, would you do it for the Empire? And honestly, knowing their control, and like if I was there, I'd be like, yeah, I'd do it, because I know that's like a safe bet. That's like working for the government. I'm like, I know that I'll have a job.
That's a good point. That's a great point.
And that brings me to my point with the Rampart. When they get to that base, right?
Right.
They walk off, and I was like, a little bit of me was like, I kind of wanted to rat them out right now.
Yeah.
Like, hey, these guys took me, but of course it'd be dumb to say that, but they took me from a prison and they're holding me hostage.
Right.
Because I think that is believable in the sense of like, that's a secure place. Like, I don't think I could.
They're safe, or he's safe if he does that.
Exactly. Yeah. Especially because it's like, think of the government. Like, there's no way I could take down the U.S. government by myself, right? I can't.
Yeah, NSA.
NSA, if you're listening, I cannot, and I'm not planning in no way. I'm making a comparison, but like, I would doubt these group of 4 dudes. I'm like, there's no way they're going to take down the Empire.
That's an excellent point. That's great.
So I would have. Basically, what I'm saying, if I was Rampart, and we've learned a lot about my character through this show.
Yeah, we know what side you stand on. A little bootlicker.
I am, I guess.
That's interesting that you compare the U.S. government to the Empire.
I said it a couple times too, huh?
Interesting.
I
wouldn't say that.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
George Lucas would. I wouldn't. James Cameron would. I wouldn't.
That's right. But NSA, he would not.
We don't want to overthrow the U.S. government, okay?
Especially with the Force in that group chat, we might be getting looked at.
No, my goodness. Let's not even repeat that. Jeez.
Yeah, I'm not either.
But no, that's a good point. What else did you say? Oh, I did like, to that point, when they remind him, they're like, remember, the Empire put you in a prison camp. We freed you.
Yes.
Don't try anything.
Don't try anything.
So, like, he's got that motivation because, like you said, he may be safe, but he's going straight back to that prison camp.
And I think it's a really good detail to put that in there, because it's like, I think maybe he was definitely contemplating, but once they said that's like, yeah, what does this put me? If I run him out, I'm going back to a prison. Here, I have a chance of getting free. And I really like that little detail, because I think that's pretty on par for how people probably think. So
yeah, perfect. I love when they hand him the uniform. And he's like, I can't wear that. It's a captain's uniform. I was a vice admiral. And they're like, shut up.
It plays into his little prideful ego, being a baby.
Dude, he's such a great dick in this. Like, so believable as just the worst that the Empire can produce.
Yeah.
There's so many, every line and the way he voices it is just like, man, F this guy.
Yeah. Super sassy too.
Yeah.
For no reason, dude.
Seriously.
Just pipe down over there, dude.
Pipe
Have
down,
some
Rampart.
faith. Well, yeah, he's like so quick to want to end the mission too. Like, it's not gonna work. Let's just end it. I'm like, brother.
There's no hope in the Empire, dude.
That's a good point.
That's how it be.
because I mean we've talked about it before. The second things went bad, when you look in Andor, they all hid.
Yep.
They got no power, dude.
That's a great point. I do want to talk about that fear, but before going to that, I like the symbolism of the stripped armor. They strip their armor of like all its paint.
Yeah.
Just because if you're a fan of the Clone Wars, you know the identity that goes into personalizing your armor and how that makes each clone his own instead of just another number. And it kind of holds that shot for a bit. I noticed like 1, 2, 3 seconds, a little bit longer than you would expect when he's handed that helmet back. Hunter gets his helmet back and looks at his stripped helmet for a little bit. Kind of holds for a beat and lets you think on that. So it's really interesting. I thought it was funny though, because their armor still clearly isn't
right
like regulation. But then that comes in later when they're being called out for it. And Rampart's like, this is my unit's classified.
Right.
Because we've talked about this before, and this is where I'll get into the fear thing.
Okay.
Is that's how the Empire operates, is they're governed by fear. You don't ask, you don't tell, you know? And I was thinking that, honestly, if you're working for the government or something, and you, like, for example, I read this book by Marcus Luttrell. Not that I condone any of his behavior. I think he's a dishonest person now. I have no better. You know Marcus Luttrell?
No idea who that is.
He's a former Navy SEAL.
Oh, okay.
You know the book or the movie Lone Survivor?
Oh,
that's him.
yes.
So Mark Wahlberg plays Marcus Luttrell.
Yeah, and the whole thing that he lied, basically.
Yeah, it's been verified that he was like completely dishonest about all of that experience. It's whatever. People still love that movie. I think it's hard to watch because of that. Anyway, one of the details that he talks about in his book is that Navy SEALs are not like the rest of the military, of course, but like they've got way altered uniform regulations. They can grow any facial hair they want, so they'll like be rocking beards and long hair. When in the rest of the military, you can't even have anything more than a mustache,
right.
You know. So like that's like some random dude at a shipping place in the military coming up to this military leader and being like, "Your guys aren't regulation." And he's like, "Dude, they're Navy effing SEALs, bro. They're with me, whatever."
That's a good point. Well, and I really love what you just said there too about the whole facial thing, hair, because Rampart has facial hair, and as it happened, I was like, and they had the guy who's talking to him, he's got facial hair too.
Yeah.
I'm like, we don't see that I think there's like one dude who's got a mustache in the Empire. The Empire is pretty clean shaven.
Mustaches are big in the original Star Wars. I'm trying to think of anything else. Yeah.
I don't think I remember a beard because no, what's his name in Rebels? I almost said Calvin.
Callum. No. What the hell is his name? The guy who defects. Spoilers for Rebels.
Yeah, the defector.
But yeah, he grows a beard after he leaves the Empire.
Yeah. And so it's after, right? And that's like a thing, and then you have Rampart having it. And so the thing I wanted to say with that is like, I wonder if they had the other guy have a beard just to be like, it's okay. Like, because like, I feel like people might have said, oh, how they should have known he looks all scrappy.
Right.
But the second thing I like that you said is like, kind of goes into their whole uniform. Like they're all scrappy. Like, he's got a beard. They got different helmet. They're underclass getting things done, which I like.
So it almost even sells it more that they are like just a classified wing or whatever. So
when you risk your life on so many missions, I guess they let you have a little leeway. Huh?
Hell yeah. Thank you for your service, Navy SEALs, but not the other guys. If you're a veteran and you're listening, if you're not a Navy SEAL, dude, get the F off our feed. Just kidding. Thank you for your service in any capacity.
Even the Coast Guard.
The Coast Guard, even cops, for how much we hate you guys. No, we love veterans. Actually hate cops. I'm kidding. I don't know why I'm doing that bit. Thank you for your service.
Everyone, thank you for your service. Thank you for all you do.
First responders, veterans. You guys, we're giving you 20% off in our merch store. Code military20. Okay? So go get some merch.
Go get our merch. And we work really hard on making this merch, so it's for you.
Yeah.
We don't have merch if you don't get the joke.
Yeah, we don't have merch. And we do respect
military and first responders. That's a whole bit.
Yeah.
Please, thank you for your service. We'll end it at that. Don't go back. Don't double down over there.
I'm not. I kind of want to now. You just told me not to. I'm going to.
Don't do it.
Okay.
Do it.
Guess what? No, I'm just kidding. Common trope in Star Wars. Dress up as somebody in the Empire, put their clothes on, get into a top secret or semi-secret base. Mm-hmm. So we see that in the Death Star. Mm-hmm. Luke and Han get in stormtrooper outfits, infiltrate a super secret base. We see that in Kenobi. Kenobi and his gal are in Imperial garb, infiltrate a super secret base, usually to free a prisoner.
Yeah.
They get Leia in both those cases.
Leia's got to
Yeah.
chill.
Come on, Leia.
Kid getting captured over there.
This one here, dressing up, getting into a super secret base. There's got to be more. I'm thinking about more.
There's got to. I mean, definitely in the Clone Wars that happens.
The sequels.
Yeah.
They infiltrate a destroyer.
Yeah.
By dressing up as Imperials.
So really, as big and as powerful as the Empire is, it's not very good at trusting and verifying.
Well, and this is exactly also Mandalorian when Mandalorian and comedian
Bill Burr,
they infiltrate a base dressed up as Imperials.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's one thing that we've talked about in the past is that fear of the Empire. Like, you don't question anything because you know that there's repercussions if you get in the way of how the Empire operates. So you see somebody come in, and it's also talked about in Andor, that like smug sense of security, you know? They don't believe that somebody can get in there. So
it also happens in Andor. They break into the base. They the what's the name of that? The thing
garrison.
Garrison.
Yes. Great point.
So
but yeah, Andor's whole monologue when he first meets Luthen is like they're so fat and happy.
Right.
They don't believe that anybody could do it. They don't.
Right.
So
they're like, there's no way someone would even attempt this.
yeah.
And they have actually a couple times. So
A lot of times. And I just love I'm kind of in the middle. I love it when this happens, when there's like a familiar trope that gets played over and over within Star Wars.
I have a bad
Sometimes I
feeling
hate it.
about this.
Yes, yeah. I love that too. I know there's been occasions where we've complained about repetitiveness and things like that, but repetition might be a better word than repetitiveness in Star Wars. But in this case, I really like it. I'm trying to think of other times that we bitched about it, but
Yeah. I mean, we definitely have people getting stabbed and living, but
I mean, yeah.
But that one I stand on not
Yeah.
really liking. But everything else I do like because it's like the trope 2 stars. It's a Star Wars film. It's going to happen. Like Western's going to have a standoff kind of.
Exactly. Killer.
Star Wars movie's going to have someone get stabbed and live. You know.
Hell yeah. Well, even last week we questioned, like, are they running out of ideas if they're copying The Mandalorian with this Juggernaut chase? That's different. Okay, it's different. But no, I really like the trope of breaking into somewhere dressed as an Imperial.
I do too. So my next point I have here is I like that prison type she going down with Omega hiding tools in her thing. I'm like, that's such like a, I don't know, every prison movie I've seen, that's what they do. She got a shank. It's not a shank, but it felt like it. Also, if I may, I love Omega's character arc right now because her development from when we first saw her, she was super chippery, and then she gets in here with a room of children, presumably I'd imagine within her age range, you know, and she's so much mature because she's been going through battles and whatever it may be, and like she is in control because she's got the experience, and like old Omega would be I think A, scared, B, maybe kind of being a kid, but now she's kind of a hardened veteran. Yeah. She's sitting there and she's calling the shots, which I love when she says, I like a challenge. I was like, that's I like it.
It's so cool. I mean, and the fact that she's escaped from there before. So like we've seen what has equipped her for this situation. We've been along with the ride for the whole way. I just think it's an awesome payoff. And we've talked about this a lot, how Omega is one of the best developed Star Wars characters that we have. Like, and challenge me if I'm wrong in the comments, whatever. But like, I just, like you said, really love her character arc. And I noted that as well. I was like, man, she is just speaking so confidently. Yeah. She's in charge and she has a plan and she knows she's going to execute. It's just really cool.
I love it. I love her. I love you, Omega.
Okay.
Not like that. Come on. What else you got?
Just going off of what you said about the prison movies, Escape from Alcatraz, Shawshank Redemption, both have like drilling into walls. Pick things. So thought that was cool. I just have 2 more things. Do you have anything else?
I got a couple more.
Okay.
So
I've got one more right here. Rampart is, and I've been saying this, but he's like the perfect a-hole. Every interaction he has with somebody in the Empire, he knows how to play it because he's been there and he knows how they are accustomed to being led, which I think is a really cool detail. Like he's the best person they can have with him as they're infiltrating that base.
Absolutely.
Because he, like when the guards at the door question him, they're like, we just started our shift. immediately he's like, well, don't make me bring you up on this charge, and like quotes the exact where it is in the handbook or whatever, which is great.
Yeah.
I also love when that fails like 20 seconds later, and the one guy manning the control station is like, I'm gonna need some verification. They just shoot him.
Yeah.
Like, it's great to see that yes, you have to get through it this kind of tactical way, but then it just goes to pot eventually.
Right.
So
yeah, that's a really good point. And I also love when he just drops Tarkin's name.
yeah,
Because I mean, to them, yeah, that's like, okay, yeah, sorry about that. Sorry,
yeah, scary.
I'm not going to question you on that. Yeah, really cool.
Yeah.
Let's see here. One of the things I wrote down was the overheated Gamorreans. When he says that little line, I was like, that's funny, silly.
Or Gamorreans, the pigs.
Yeah, the green piggies.
Yeah.
That are in Return of the Jedi, and I forgot they pop up in Boba Fett. They have that duel.
Oh yeah, the wrestling ring. Yeah.
So, anyway, I already said that part. Oh, I kind of giggled when they called when Omega's standing. When she's doing her little thing to get the whatever, it's open. And the doctor comes down and she calls the doctor. Her name of the doctor is Dr. Scolder.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's kind of funny because she's just scolding the whole thing.
Yeah.
She doesn't smile. Does she say a word, the doctor? I don't think she must, but
she does, because she says something to Emery earlier in the episode. Yeah.
But I just love it that her name's Scolder. I'm like, that's a silly joke.
Yeah.
That's good.
It follows a trope in Star Wars of somebody being named exactly what they are, like Darth Sidious. He's an insidious guy, whatever. Yes. Darth Vader. Wait, no. I remember there used to be. Anyway, I'm just thinking. We might need to cut that. I don't know why I did that.
I'm leaving it in.
But like Sith names are kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Darth Maul, Savage Opress.
Yeah, that one.
Savage Opress. I don't know. So yeah, it's kind of funny.
On the nose with it.
Yeah.
Love seeing the R units.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess R2 units.
The Astromechs.
Yeah, Astromechs. That's a better name. That's the name. I love seeing the Astromechs.
Yeah.
They're cute. Just made me miss R2D2 for a second.
I know. They're evil Astromechs, though. You got to remember that, too.
I know, but there's good and then there has to be.
And we've seen this in video games and maybe somewhere else in the movies and TV shows, but like that port that comes down and sucks them up, I'm like, why can't they just go up the ramp like everybody else, you know?
Because
maybe there's a segregation.
I was gonna say it might play into the fact that they don't treat droids as humans. Yeah. So it's like, just get up there. I don't care how you get up there, but you're not taking the human away.
That's a good point, because they give these sound effects that they're like screaming as they're getting sucked up, and I'm like, isn't that pretty routine? Why are they screaming? But maybe they don't like it.
They don't like droids.
Astromechs don't like it.
The Empire really doesn't like droids.
Yeah, seriously.
What was your last point? Because I got one more. So
I just have a note that says crazy ending, and I cannot remember for the life. Oh, yes, I can. Now I can.
Let's hear
it. Just really intense, right?
Yeah.
You're like, oh my gosh, is he going to make it before they jump to hyperspace? And there was also, I need to go back and watch this. There's a little detail that as soon as the feet like clamp on the bottom of the ship that's about to go into hyperspace, there's like a spark. And I don't know if that meant like a positive clamp or if they didn't get connected all the way and they're just going to get lost in space somewhere. Oh. I don't know why they would do that narratively.
Yeah.
That would not make sense here in the final few episodes.
Yeah, for finally getting there, they just rip us away.
Yeah. I was like, oh my gosh, are they going to be okay? I'm sure they are. But anyway, just noticed a little detail there.
Interesting.
So help me out if you see it, or comments down below.
I did like the ending as well. Well, my first thought was, because they're trying to get there so they can get under right, so they can before they go off to into hyperspace. My thought was originally, why didn't they just put a tracker on it? They did it like 2 episodes before, and I know that. And at first I thought, well, maybe because they can't track in hyperspace, but they can because the Empire's done it in the original trilogy. That's how they found Yavin 4. Mm-hmm. There's another one I can't remember, but then I think the answer, correct me if I'm wrong, is that the whole reason they're being stealthy is because they have a bunch of security measures on the ship. So maybe it would be detected if they had a tracker. Because what are they taking down? What's the whole reason they're on that ship?
I don't know. I think that's just a routine vessel, isn't it? I don't know.
Well, they said it was a science. They said scientist at one point.
Oh, okay.
Which
so
makes
maybe
sense.
They're bringing another kid or something.
Yeah.
But no, then a scientist would go retrieve it from that
station.
station.
So maybe it's just supplies for the base because they want it to be locked down.
But regardless, to your point, yes, like the whole reason they're in this ship is because it's a stolen ship. Like they need to keep that level of security, or I don't know. But yeah, I think one that the tracker might get detected. But I don't know.
I mean, it's just it pushes the story, and makes it intense.
Exactly.
And that was in.
But yeah, that's one thing that makes it more intense is like they're clamped up to the bottom of the ship. They know now. That ship that's inbound knows that they're clamped up on.
Right.
Probably, I would assume.
Yeah, I would assume as well. But maybe they won't.
So their whole stealth plan is out of the way. Like they are not getting in there stealthily anymore.
Yeah.
So now they've got to try to take Tantus in a different way, which will be really exciting because we've seen the stealthy approach of getting into a base without them knowing. Like I said, it's that trope. Mm-hmm. But like this adds another wrinkle in there of this could be more exciting. This could be more intense. So I'm excited for it. So now the Empire knows they're coming. Sorry.
Right. Well, one thing I love that you just said, it just reminds me of just, their plan has a wrinkle. And I love the Bad Batch from the beginning. It's just improvisation.
Yeah.
Is that a word?
Yeah. Sure. Improvisation.
That's the word. I just love that. They're always just like, all right, well, this failed. Let's do this now. Yeah. And I just love that that's what they have to rely on. And it reminds me a lot of the Clone Wars, of course, because I feel like Anakin and Obi-Wan were always on a mission. And it was like, all right, yeah, this isn't what we thought was going to happen.
Right.
Which is cool because it's like nothing worse than watching a show that everything works out perfectly. You're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
My last thing here, chill with the this was a point made by a YouTube channel you guys never heard of, so I won't even say the name. I've never mentioned them on this podcast.
Okay.
But it's funny how relatively chill, I put in entre comillas if you're listening to, quotations, chill, people were with the Jedi taking kids. Like, oh yeah, I take my kid, whatever. The Empire taking kids are like, whoa, I don't like this. Why are you taking it? Yeah. And I'm like, I mean, it's not really, it's different because the Empire has the negative connotation, right? And a point that was brought up was that he could, if Palpatine wanted to, he could say, oh, we're going to train them to be Jedi, right? He could say that. I think people would be more willing to give their kids up. They wouldn't be hiding them. But it goes into the whole thing. Is the reason this is all happening is because he says the Jedi are evil.
Right.
And so he can't go back on that. And he mentions that too in there. But I was like, it would be a way for him to, if he wanted to backpedal a little bit, he might say, we're going to do a new Jedi thing and to get the kids,
Yeah. That's a great point, and I wonder too, and of course this isn't going to fit narratively in Star Wars because the rule of two in the Sith, Palpatine wouldn't want more Sith running around, but he kind of does. I mean, he has the Inquisitors and things like that. But I wonder, does the galaxy at large understand the duality of Jedi and Sith? Like, because they were so easily duped into believing that the Jedi turned on them, could Palpatine not say, I'm creating an army of Force-sensitive people. We are called the Sith. Okay? And this is to safeguard us from any Jedi incursion in the future because they betrayed the Republic. I'm protecting the Republic with this organization, which is the Sith. Our people are going to be like, oh no, the Sith is evil. Sith are evil. We can't have that. Or does Palpatine just get away with that? Like I'm thinking the latter. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I agree with you because when we hear the Sith mentioned in the prequels, it's always Jedi talking about the Sith.
Yeah.
The common folk, they're not talking about the Sith. Maybe some hear rumors, but it's not as, I mean, it's looked at as a religion, right?
Yeah.
And so if you look at, anybody in their own religion has things that they could talk about that people who just walk around are like, I have no idea. I've never heard of that in my life.
Yeah.
And, it may sound crazy to us, but in Star Wars, I mean, it's a gigantic universe, but we're just focused on the Jedi, right?
Yeah.
So.
And I mean, a Sith hasn't been heard of for 1,000 years.
Right.
So that's like to us saying, okay, I don't want to keep making real world comparisons.
Why not? It's Star Wars is all about.
But like, do you know what Leif Erikson and his Vikings stood for?
What's funny is I do know Leif Erikson only because of SpongeBob. I know he was a Viking, was he?
Yeah, well, he found the North American continent in like the year 1000. So that's 1,000 years ago, right?
Okay.
So like, do we know what he stood for? Do we know what he was all about? Like if he all of a sudden comes back, this is a horrible comparison. I'm just noting that right now. But like,
I get what you're saying.
I'm not going to bat an eye at that. Like if Joseph Biden goes, hey, Leif Erikson's guys are back. They're going to save America. I'm like, okay,
sure,
whatever.
Like I get what you're saying. to how the Star Wars is. Like
yes, like
that
that's
idea.
so. Yeah,
Right.
it's just so ambiguous. It's so unknown to us, so foreign to us.
Right, we don't know anything about it. Yeah, no, that's a really good point because it's like I genuinely think Palpatine could easily get away with that.
Yeah,
because they're not going to know. I just think I would say how big it is that 80. Because I mean, what percentage of people were Jedi, right?
right.
And then take that. That's the only percentage that know about Sith. So I would say 90% of the universe of Star Wars.
That's like saying. Okay, here's another real world comparison coming your way. I would assume that it is more rare to be a Jedi in the Star Wars galaxy than it is to be a professional football player in our world.
Yeah, I would.
So that's like 1% of people can be a professional football player in the U.S.
Yeah, and we were even when Star Wars started, we were at the height of it.
Yeah, exactly.
So when the Jedi were
so
pretty
that's
big.
like saying how many Americans know how to play against cover 2.
No
you know,
idea. That's a really good point.
Nobody, unless you play Madden, whatever.
Yeah.
So unless you're like obsessed with the Jedi or a Jedi, you probably don't know about Sith.
Yeah, because it's only talked within the ranks, and they're all dead.
Yeah.
Dang, that's a good point. So I think to answer your question, yeah, I think Palpatine easily could have gotten away with it. I'm just saying this is the Sith, but I think it just goes into what you're saying of the rule of 2. He doesn't want to have that. But easily, yeah, he could have easily made it so people are like, oh, okay, yeah, build an army. Because people are going to back that. Like, yeah, the Jedi betrayed us. They killed us. Like, they attacked the Republic.
Right.
I don't want that ever happening again. So, and to the point that I really think that no one even knew that Palpatine was a Sith Lord, even when he was reigning, you know?
Right.
So it's like, they don't know what a Sith is.
Yeah. I guess that kind of comes around. I just realized this.
All right, let's hear it. Do we
So
just
the
backtrack
First Order kidnaps kids to build up their army.
Yeah, it's cool though.
Are people cool with that?
No, I don't know.
They're probably not, but like
Probably, I would assume not.
that'd be more or less the same thing as Palpatine saying, "Hey, I'm going to steal your kids to build up this force to defend us."
That's a good point.
But it'd be a lot less frequent because they're force sensitive rather than just regular kids. So
It wouldn't. Yeah, it would be rare for people to be like, "Oh shoot, that sucks."
yeah,
But not. But as with the First Order, everyone was getting picked up.
Right,
in
right,
the
right.
world. So, yeah.
So after our much anticipated Captain Phasma boob armor,
Yeah.
what if we'll do a what if on what if Palpatine just built a Sith Empire instead of trying to do what he did with the regular Empire.
Yeah. No, because Palpatine knew the rule of 2s. What Explain Inquisitors did.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not Sith, but it's an army.
Explain the final order, dog. When he wants like the whole Sith eternal whatever shit.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, what
What
was
if we
with
just
that?
moved all of First Order to what he did the first time?
Yeah.
Wait, okay. Was the first were the sequels like really well written? Now I'm wondering that. Like maybe that's the perfect response to a failed galactic empire.
Is all Sith? Wait, what are you saying? Maybe
I
I'm
don't know.
confused.
I don't know what I'm saying. Maybe I was gonna say we've been going too long. It's only been 40 minutes.
It's long for us.
Yeah, it is. I don't know. I'll have to rewatch those movies and get
Yeah.
back to you on that. But what they've done, what we've talked about, is they've kidnapped kids to build an army.
Mm-hmm.
And then later, when Palpatine returns, he gets the Sith more involved because we see on Exegol, he has like all of those Sith cultists there.
Yeah.
The Final Order is presumably built by Sith cultists. I don't know. Do you know how all those Star Destroyers are built?
No.
I would say so. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I forgot there's a bunch of Star Destroyers at the end.
So like the Final Order is Palpatine doubling down, learning from his mistakes. So maybe it's like not that bad as we play it out to be. I mean, it's still poorly executed, but that's the
Ultimate power.
I love that, dude.
All right, that's all I got.
Yeah, that's all I got. Yeah, let us know down below or text us or email us or whatever.
Call
Now,
us. You ever-
listen, our following, we used to joke and say email us
Yeah.
when all of our followers used to just be able to text us because they had our phone numbers.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, text us. I mean, sorry. Now our following's a little too big
Yeah.
to be texted.
Yeah.
But we will still give out Spenny's number. So it's 801
Oh my gosh.
888
Oh my gosh.
0183.
You are a little sneaky boy, aren't you? You took one of those numbers is off, but that is close if you want to guess.
I almost accidentally, I had a number memorized.
Uh-huh.
I almost just said it.
That you were just
Word for word. Not that people would text. And if you're listening and you want to play a joke, text that number. Just see.
see who it is.
But I
888, I don't think is going to be Could be.
I have a number
Oh, you have
memorized.
the
That's
888?
literally all of those except for the last two.
That's crazy.
Just try those last two out.
See what you can get. Yeah. But email us at disciplesoftheforce@gmail.com. We're pretty quick to respond. You can comment on our videos. If you comment on TikTok, I'm less. Well, actually, that's not true. I do look at them now, but sometimes it gives me anxiety because sometimes people are mean and I don't want to look at them.
Sure.
So, but just comment, text, not text. Why do you keep saying text?
Yeah, just text us.
Just text
Wait, no,
us.
shouts out for real to our guy. Let me find your name real quick. Yeah, give me some.
And get us to
Hold music.
300 subscribers if you're listening on YouTube. We are so close to breaking that barrier.
Which is a big thing for us,
Yeah.
straight up. So seriously, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
We had 287 when we started this podcast.
Yeah.
I just got on 291.
No way.
Yeah, so 4 new subscribers. Thank you.
Welcome.
Seriously.
Thank you.
That means a lot. I'm getting emotional straight up. Kind of.
It's like, yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's 290. What did you say? One?
Yeah,
People.
290. Or, yeah, 290.
Because a subscribe is stronger than a follow. We all know that.
Yeah. Where the hell is our most recent video? What the? Oh, what if? Okay, straight up. Thank you to.
Thank you.
And I'm gonna say your name here. I hope that's okay. Marcus is God 2592. He gave us a ton of what if.
Yeah, thank you.
Suggestions. So we're gonna straight up run with those. We will give you credit.
Yeah, we'll shout you out in the section.
If we start making money, maybe we'll shoot you $1 to gift card, Amazon gift card, whatever.
Just remember, it's really hard to make money on these platforms nowadays, so probably won't be for a while.
But no, seriously, thank you for the support, everybody.
Thank you. We love you. And honestly, what was the thing we were being serious about in the beginning? We said we're going to be serious about?
Were we being serious about something?
You said something. It was like, yeah. Well, 2 weeks ago was mental health, and then this week we just talked about something in the very beginning. He said, we're going to take time.
Gambling problem.
Oh, yeah. Seriously, get help if you have a gambling addiction.
One thing Spencer's been serious about, too, is that he doesn't support veterans. So
That's not true. That's not true. I support the troops. I support everyone.
you support everyone, so you support no one. You support
that's a good point.
You support Russia and their invasion of Ukraine. That's crazy. Killing your civilians.
So you do this to me. You put me in these situations where it's like if I say something, I'm just gonna get in a worse spot.
No, there's good people on both sides. Yeah, I keep saying that, Trumper. No, I'm just saying.
I've never said that sentence.
There's good people on both sides. I get it, dude.
Oh man, let's end this in real life. Let's end this podcast. I'm done with it. I'm sick of her.
Okay, let's be serious for a second. Seriously, don't go see Civil War, Alex Garland's movie. It sucks.
Okay.
Did you see it?
No, but I heard what you're talking about on Warzone the other night.
You should go see it, dude. It's crazy.
Don't watch it.
I want
You
to
should
know
go
because
see it.
people, it's the biggest spread I've ever seen among my friends. Some of my friends, 5 stars. Some of my friends, 1 star.
Really?
I'm a 1-star camp. I'm like, this is just poorly made. Listen to the director talk about it. I'm like, this guy is talking out of his ass. Anyway.
1 star? That's interesting.
I really did not like
How many movies have you given a 1 star?
About 70.
It's way more than I would have thought.
Well, I've seen 1,200 movies.
No, so I
So
guess I'm
70 is
wrong.
not that much compared to...
I don't know, because every time I'm about to put 1 star in a movie, I think, I kind of like this part. And then I always bump it up to 1.5 or 2.
There were some things. There was 1 scene that was good, 2 scenes that were okay, and the rest was like, when I feel like it's a waste of my time, genuinely,
That's a 1.
I'm like, this deserves a 1 star.
That's a fair rating, though, honestly.
Yeah.
Because if I see a 1 star, I go, okay, this guy didn't like it, so I'm not going to waste my time.
Yeah.
So I honestly thank you for that.
For 6 minutes of like, oh, that was okay, I can get that from a YouTube video. I don't need to spend...
You can get that from our YouTube videos.
Yeah, seriously. More like 6 seconds of okay. Here's the 6 seconds of okay. I'm going to start counting. Wait. What's the song?
Cranberries?
Yeah. Give me a note.
And I'm into
So deep. You know I'm such a fool for you. 3 more seconds. You've got me wrapped around your finger. Whoa. Okay.
What do we do?
That's our 6 seconds of goodness. So I hope you stayed till the end. And with that, thank you for being a disciple of the Force.